Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're welcome to this YouTube channel. My name is Ogbanje Joseph. Please endeavor to subscribe to this channel, like and share this video. Um, Today we are going to be looking at conceptual framework, the impact of conceptual or the role of conceptual framework in a research work. Now, what is conceptual framework? Conceptual framework is part of literature review within a research project. It is actually regarded as the first thing that is done under literature review. It is numbered 2.1. 2.1. Okay, so conceptual framework covers all terminologies associated with the variables in the research. You know, it defines each variable and that is presented in a research. Okay, so under conceptual framework, major variables slash concepts, okay, of the research title are identified and concretely defined in relation to the study. Now, the variables must be conceptualized, to reflect their true meaning in the study. Okay, so that is actually conceptual framework. Okay, conceptual framework, like I said, houses the major variables, the major concepts. And what is done under conceptual framework is to actually conceptualize each concept. How do you conceptualize? It is by looking at the ideas, the views of scholars, okay, on a particular concept. For example, if you're doing something on the effect of motivation on employee productivity, there are two keywords there. Okay, there are two keywords there: motivation and employees productivity. So we have motivation and productivity. So under the conceptual framework, 2.1.1 will be the concept of motivation. Okay, now 2.1.2 will be concept of productivity. Okay, so that is actually what it is. Now, conceptual framework, okay, analyzes concept. Now, if you're looking at the impact of ASU strike on the academic performance of the Nigerian students, okay, you can actually look at some concepts such as, okay, academic performance, okay, ASU strike, okay, um and all of that. So all of these are actually conceptualization. Like I said, to conceptualize simply means to bring in the definition of other scholars, to bring in the views of scholars particular pertaining the variable that you are actually conceptualizing, what scholars have done concerning or in respect of that variable. Now, if you have the variable, if you talk about the impact of corruption on the political economy of Nigeria, you are going to look at your 2.1.1 as corruption. And under corruption, you are going to be looking at, don't start with the idea of a scholar. You have to start with your own idea. After you have looked at your own idea, then you bring in, okay, the definition of different scholars. As you bring in one scholar's definition, you add your own view to that scholar's definition, either accepting or agreeing, either agreeing with the scholar or disagreeing with the scholar. Okay, you bring in another scholar's perspective to it, definition to it, you accept or reject. You bring in another scholar that actually does something either in line or differently from the scholar you have quoted above. So when we talk about conceptual framework, we're actually looking at picking the variables from the research topic, to really conceptualize, or to look at the views of other scholars. Here under this, definitions are brought in, ideas of scholars are brought in, captions, conceptualizations are actually, you know conceptualizations are actually done. Okay. And it is done by contextualizing the ideas of scholars, particularly on the subject matter. So that is it. Now, under a conceptual framework, you can actually bring in types. Types. For example, if you are doing something on the impact of corruption on the political economy of Nigeria, the 2.1.1 will be corruption. 2.1.2 will be, or 2.1.1, okay, 2.1.1 will be corruption. 2.1.2 or 2.1.1.1 will be types of corruption. Okay. 2.1.1.32, point 2 will be the factors of corruption, or the factors that led to corruption. Okay. Now 2.1.1.4 or point 3 will be, the impact of corruption on the political economy of Nigeria. Then 2.1.2 will now be the concept of political economy. And all of these things must be done, okay, in relation with what other scholars have done. Okay. You have to bring in the perspectives of so many of different scholars. Okay. In a page, some scholars, some supervisors actually will say, okay, in a page you don't have to quote less than 10 scholars. Okay. But it depends on your supervisor anyway. And when you are quoting scholars, don't go and quote stale work. Okay. For example, this is 2013, so you're not going to be quoting scholars, works written by scholars in 1960 or 1950 or 1970, 80, 90, 2000. You have to start quoting from maybe from 2010 upwards. 2010 upwards. Okay, so those are the things. Okay, so when you are quoting scholars, endeavor to actually quote recent works done on that particular concept. Okay, so conceptualizing the concept of corruption will be defining it according to different scholars. Okay, defining it according to a scholar, adding your own perspective to it, define according to another scholar, add your own perspective to it, define according to another scholar, add your own perspective to it. So those are the things. Then before you finish that conceptualization on that very concept, you are going to summarize your own, the gaps that you have noticed in that, in the literature concerning that particular concept that you have revealed. Okay. Or that you have conceptualized. So that is actually very important, very, very important. So as you do that, you find out that the scholar, the reader will be able to actually follow your line of thought, sequentially and chronologically. Thank you very much.